Hey everyone, Kevin here with an April 23rd update to the stimulus check, stimulus package. We'll talk EIDL, unemployment, PPP, and some other things. Let's start by mentioning that today, in case you're not aware, the House is in session to vote on stimulus package 3.5, which is that small business additional funding program for the PPP and the EIDL, which, remember, we've been talking about the EIDL as being that opportunity for you to request an additional $1,000 per employee for your side hustle. And that's created a lot of questions. A lot of folks have been asking questions in the Discord and in the comments. And some of the main ones have been, hey, if I've applied before, but I put 0 employees in because I thought, well, I don't have any employees, so I'm putting in 0, should I apply again? And the answer is probably yes, because remember, you are your own employee. It doesn't matter if, and these were actually some scenarios I got, it doesn't matter if you're a barber, a salon employee working for somebody or under somebody else's business brand, you're your own 1099 employee, you're your own business, you're your own employee, that means you're one. I've got here a couple of people who are Native Americans who sell beads as a side hustle and their business has been affected. Yeah, all of y'all apply. And remember to count yourself as one employee. Now, the good news is for timing here, the House is expected to pass this bill today. If the House passes this today, the president might sign this later today or tomorrow being Friday, which means it's going to be totally fair game for the SBA to open up that portal. I'll link it down below. It's not open yet, but it'll be totally fair game for the SBA to open that up as soon as tomorrow or as soon as Donald Trump signs it. My guess, though, is we won't actually see it open until Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, something like that. But stay tuned. Definitely once we see that pass, just refresh that page and keep an eye on that because you're going to want to get in. A lot more people know about the program now, so I imagine that initial grant funding is going to go even faster than the first time around. The first time around, it lasts for about, I think we had about 2 weeks worth of time for people to apply, from like the 29th of March to somewhere around the 10th to 12th of April. But I think this is going to go probably in 3 or 4 days, if not sooner. So stay tuned. All right. Now, some other folks have also been reading up on the EIDL and they've been asking, hey, I don't necessarily want the EIDL loan. I just want the grant. I just want the free money part. That's totally fine. What you are filling out is an application for the EIDL loan, and then you check the little box that says, yeah, I want an advance for, up to $10,000. It's $1,000 per employee. And then in the future, they might hit you up and offer you a loan to which you can say no. And even if you say no to the loan, you could keep the advance that they deposited into your account, which is that $1,000 per employee. Now, some folks are still getting deposits every single day in the Discord. I've got people posting pictures going, just got my deposit, just got my deposit. So if you haven't gotten your money yet, don't worry. They're still actively going through processing these deposits. Somebody actually sent me a message too saying they got their $10,000 deposit because they have 10 employees. So good for them. Now let's talk a little bit about unemployment. A lot of folks have been wondering, hey, look, if I'm on unemployment and my boss says, hey, I got some PPP funding, come back to work. Do you have to go back to work? And the Georgia Labor Commissioner actually talked about this. And he said the short answer is you can refuse to go back to work if you're worried about a health risk, but you might have to prove your issue. So, maybe you have an underlying condition, or maybe there are more outbreaks in your area or whatever. And he did say you might have to prove your issue, not that you would have to. But it's interesting. So in theory, yeah, I mean, if you're getting unemployment and you're getting paid way more, which the New York Times this morning had a whole thing about how disproportionately, a lot of people are getting paid more money on unemployment. And then in areas like New York and California, people aren't getting basically made par. So it's kind of weird how it's just a blanket $600 across the country with no cost of living adjustment. But yeah, according to the Georgia Labor Commissioner, you can refuse to go back to work, which is kind of interesting, but I mean, I get it. I get it. It's a struggle, but well, there you go. So now other folks have been asking about unemployment. What do I do if my income's been reduced, but I make a substantial income? Am I still going to be able to qualify? The answer here is Maybe. It depends on your state. So in order to technically qualify for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, you have to qualify with your state's income guidelines, and you're allowed to be a gig employee or, a self-employed person. You can be, a 1099 contractor. Like, all of these options have been opened up. You could be partially unemployed. Your employment can be reduced. But there are state thresholds that, basically prevent high earners from collecting this $600 per week. So yeah, there is going to be a limit. For example, if you had somebody that comes in and says, look, I'm an executive at Google and I make $500K a year and my income's gone down to $400K a year, I don't think states are gonna let that fly. So I don't know where that limit is. It's different for every state. But if you're in doubt, like for example, there's somebody in the Discord chat who kept mentioning, hey, I'm a teacher and I have a side hustle. I do Instacart. I'm still working as a teacher, but a bunch of this extra income that I was making is gone. And so, teachers generally don't make that substantial of an income. So I get this. You've now lost Instacart, which could be a potential large increase or decrease now to your family's income. I would apply. And this is where that rule really comes in. Like, look, if you ask yourself, oh yeah, I'm a multimillionaire, am I gonna bother applying? No, probably not, But if you're a teacher and it's like, wow, my side hustle's gone, like 30% of my income's now gone, 40% of my income's now gone, totally. When in doubt, apply. And in fact, other folks have been mentioning in Discord, after I asked, I said, hey, what kind of verification are y'all going through? And a lot of folks are saying it's just a straight up self-attestation. You say my income has been affected, and they're relying on folks being honest, which is actually exactly what's happening with the PPP. In fact, the Treasury Department just this morning released some new guidance on the PPP. The Treasury Department says here that lenders have to confirm the average monthly payroll for that Paycheck Protection Program, but how do they verify that? Do you have to replicate every borrower's calculation? And this is important, even if you're not interested in the PPP, because it kind of shows you the spirit of this law. And I mean, really, what the government here is trying to do is just say, hey, folks, look, just be honest. If you need help, apply. And so that's where it really makes sense that a lot of these programs are relying on your representations. So if you've been affected, don't get discouraged. When in doubt, apply. Apply for the PPP, apply for the EIDL, apply for unemployment insurance. And if for whatever reason the softwares don't let you or whatever, do whatever you can to submit something with notation that actually substantiates your case. If, for example, there's like a fill in some more information box in your application portal, explain your situation and explain yourself. Get in line for these programs. The sooner you get in line, the sooner you can actually get in front of somebody who's processing these applications and who can help you. Which also brings up the question of health insurance. What should you do if you lost your job and you need health insurance? Keep in mind that most of us, when we're working for an employer who has more than 20 employees, we can apply for COBRA, which basically means we can make our own premium payments for a certain period of time after we're fired. The problem with that is it can be a little expensive. So usually I recommend either if you're low income, Medicaid, or for everybody else, go to healthcare.gov. If you lost your job, that qualifies as a special enrollment, so you can still enroll for healthcare. Now, a lot of you folks follow me because I'm a real estate investor and I do my best to help you learn how to make money buying real estate. And so remember, even for you, it's your obligation to be aware of these programs, this unemployment insurance, the EIDL programs. It's your obligation to know these things, because when your tenants call you up and go, hey, I can't pay the rent, you almost need to become this sort of mediator who says, no problem, I get it, we're in this tough situation right now. Let's start by seeing what we can solve in terms of taking advantage of the government programs that exist. Do you know about unemployment insurance? Oh, well, I was already denied for unemployment. No problem. Most people were denied for unemployment insurance who now qualify. So if you applied prior to like April 15th and you got denied, it's time to reapply, because now states are finally getting their act together and they've finally gone through the CARES Act and they finally realize, oh, all those people we denied actually do qualify. So this is where that when in doubt apply comes up, but it's also kind of turning into now, if you got denied and you're still in doubt, reapply. I would say the vast majority of us who've legitimately lost income will be eligible for that $600 per week of unemployment insurance if we apply. So there you have the update for April 23rd. Make sure to go down to the link below and get 2 free stocks with Webull when you deposit just $100. You get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. Somebody in our Discord chat down below got a Facebook stock the other day. That was awesome. Congratulations to them. $170 in the bag, doing basically nothing. And then of course, make sure to sign up for life insurance. It'll take you 5 minutes on your phone. Link down below. Really, really easy to do. Super fast. Lauren and I have it. And it's great peace of mind because you never know. But what you do know is there's a great coupon code and program linked down below for you to join me in my programs. I go live every morning the market is open at 9 a.m. We'll see you next time.